So you want to start recording your motorcycle rides, but the GoPro 13 just isn't doing it for you. Maybe it's the overheating issues, maybe it's the fact that you have no faith in the camera to actually do its job and record your rides. Heck, maybe it's something totally different. Either way, that leaves you with two options, the DJI Action 5 Pro or Insta360's Ace Pro 2. But the question is, which of these action cameras is actually the best for motorcycle riding? I think by the end of this video, you'll know. For you guys that have been following the channel, make sure to subscribe. You know this is the third of a three-part saga of camera comparisons we've been doing. We've done the Action 5 Pro versus the GoPro 13. We've done the Ace Pro 2 versus the GoPro 13. I want to find out which is the best camera, but we haven't done what I consider the competitive test of the two most superior cameras, at least on this channel. Now, there's a couple things we gotta get out of the way first. One, DJI is sponsoring this video. They supplied me with the Action 5 Pro that I'm gonna be testing out in this video, and that means something specific. DJI literally just asked me to put their camera up against the Ace Pro 2 and see how it fares. I love the ballsiness of these videos that these camera companies are asking for. But because of that, my job today is not to tell you guys which camera is better. My job is to put both cameras side by side in multiple environments that you guys are gonna deal with while you're out recording your motorcycle rides so that you can make the best decision for yourself. It also gives me an opportunity to use my cool little dual camera helmet situation, so drop a like if you really dig these little competitive videos. With all that being said, guys, let's get into it because I am super excited to see how this one's gonna shake out. So let's start this thing out by getting a clear understanding of both cameras and how they compare. Side note, if you guys are not interested in specs, you can jump to that timestamp and it'll get you straight to the riding footage. So first up, let's hit on sizing because both cameras are pretty differently sized. The Ace Pro 2 comes in a bit larger than the Action 5 Pro by about 30 grams. The Ace Pro 2's weight is coming in at 177 grams, and it is physically larger than the Action 5 Pro. Now, I have to admit, after doing all of this testing and swapping cameras on and off my helmets, I haven't really been able to tell that 30-gram difference, but keep this in mind, I'm very used to riding with lots of stuff attached to my helmet, so that 30 grams is not really gonna matter. You guys might have subtler necks than mine, so you might notice it, but me personally, I didn't really notice it. Screens-wise, both cameras have a screen on the front and the rear, but the way they handle both of those screens is very different. The Ace Pro 2 has a really nice large screen on the back, and on the front, it just has a little setting screen that gives you camera information. The really cool thing about the Ace Pro screen is that it can pivot up and down, and it can go all the way up to where you can see yourself while you're recording. You would think that this makes this camera a little more fragile, but I've done some really rigorous testing with this screen, opening it and closing it and wiggling it all around, and it is extremely sturdy. So if you guys are worried about damaging this screen, I wouldn't really worry about it. Another good thing about this screen rotating all the way forward is you can actually see yourself when you're looking at the camera when you have it rotated all the way up, which is helpful because the other screen on the Ace Pro 2 is not touchscreen and only tells you basic camera settings. Now the Action 5 Pro goes a little differently. They've got a touch screen on the rear that looks fantastic, as well as a color touch screen on the front, and you can see everything you can see on your rear screen on the front screen. This is fantastic and also keeps the camera a lot smaller and more durable, so I love the route that DJI went with this. What I love the most about this is when I have this camera mounted to my helmet like this, I'll often look in my rear view mirror to see if I'm recording, see what settings I have on it, and when I have this going, I can actually see what my camera is seeing and I don't have to take it off of my helmet. I really love that. I will note that the screen on the front is a little bit harder to navigate through menus. Granted, you don't have a lot of real estate, so it could be that or it could be that I have fat fingers. Either way, small screen, a little harder to change settings. Rear screen, way easier to do so. Looking at both screens side by side, I haven't really noticed a quality difference between both of them. I think they look fantastic and give me a very good understanding of what kind of shots I'm getting. Now, nothing will kill a great ride like your camera dying mid-ride. So if you guys are recording longer rides or motovlogs, battery life is a make or break. So what I did is I ran 4 tests to see which one lasted longer. In the DJI Action 5 Pro, I ran it at 4K at high bitrate mode, and then I ran it at 4K in standard bitrate mode. On the Ace Pro 2, I ran it at 8K, and then I ran it at 4K. All of these tests, the battery started out at 100%, and I ran them until the camera shut off. Let's check out my findings. Price-wise, these cameras do differ a slight amount. The DJI Action 5 Pro is coming in at $349, while the Ace Pro 2 is coming in at $399. I will note that these are the base prices for just the cameras. Both companies offer little bundles that give you extra accessories to help you film whatever you're gonna film that cost more depending on the bundle you go with. Now, I will note one little difference here. The Action 5 Pro actually comes in the box with this little case. Now, it adds a little bit of protection with its hard plastic, but when you have the camera inside of it, what it allows you to do is now mount it vertically. You guys see the little teeth right here? That's what allows it to do it. For the Ace Pro 2 to be mounted vertically, you're gonna have to buy this little bracket for 20 bucks. Now, you never know how fast you're gonna need to start recording so you can capture something cool happening. So both cameras have a quick capture feature where you can hit the record button, they will turn on and start recording. Let's see which one is faster to turn on and start recording and miss less moments. Now, the next thing we gotta talk about is storage. Now, both cameras use micro SD cards, which is very normal for action cameras, but the Action 5 Pro can do something a little bit special. It has 47 gigabytes of internal storage. That means if something happens and I get rid of the SD card in this camera, I can still record. And if you guys film at the level that I do, at 4K 24 frames a second, that 47 gigabytes will get you just over an hour's worth of filming. That's insane and will seriously save your butt. It has saved mine multiple times while I've been using the camera. So guys, I have spent countless hours writing and looking at footage of these cameras, and I have to be honest, writing in the middle of the day, it is really hard to tell which camera is which. And to prove that, we're gonna play a little game. So I'm about to show you guys some clips, some side-by-side clips of both cameras being shot at the same time, but I'm not gonna tell you what camera it is. There's gonna be a camera A, and there's gonna be a camera B. I want you guys to look at the footage and you tell me which camera you think is which in the comments down below, and then I'll tell you which one it is in a second. You guys see what I mean? During the daytime when there's plenty of light, it is kind of hard to tell which camera is which. Now, where you can start to tell the difference is when the sun starts setting and the light starts to change a little bit. So I'm gonna show you guys a few more clips and then I will reveal which camera is which. Okay, so do you think you could tell which camera was which? We're gonna find out. So camera A was actually the Ace Pro 2, and then camera B was the Action 5 Pro. Did you get it right in the comments? You better not change it. Now guys, I don't know how this is gonna come across on YouTube because you guys know YouTube compresses the videos that we upload, so we're having a conversation about the minute details of action cameras where we're gonna upload them to YouTube and have them compressed, but regardless. So here on my screen, you guys can see the low light test that I did. I've got the Action 5 Pro on the left and I've got the Ace Pro 2 on the right. And honestly, for low light situation, for an action camera, both cameras look fantastic. The main differences I can tell after staring at this footage for hours is down here at the dash. Now, on the left, you have the Action 5 Pro, and you guys can see in this little area in the little crevice here, you can still see a lot of detail down here. Whereas on the Ace Pro 2 side, it kind of just falls into black. So the Action 5 Pro is looking like it's got a little bit more dynamic range, so it can handle those brighter brights and those darker darks better than the Ace Pro 2. But really, after staring at this footage for quite a while, I can't really see much difference other than that. While we're on the topic, let's talk about color grading super fast. Both cameras offer a log profile, which is this washed out looking footage. It's basically there so you can color grade the footage yourself and make it look exactly like you want. Here's some side-by-side shots of both cameras in their log profiles, and then what we got them to look like after we got them graded. Overall, I'm really impressed with how much you can do with both of these log profiles on the cameras, but I will say this specific area is when having the 10-bit color on the Action 5 Pro is helpful and really getting it looking exactly like you want. Now, I know if you're watching this video, a lot of you guys are probably interested in motovlogging, so let's talk about audio options in both cameras. If I'm going to be honest, after all of my testing, I really feel like as far as wired mics going into the cameras, both cameras are pretty evenly matched. I will note that if you want to plug a microphone directly into either of these cameras, you are going to have to get their separate mic adapters. The Ace Pro 2's mic adapter is only 20 bucks, but the DJI Action 5 Pro's mic adapter is $45. But before you go buy one of these mic adapters, I want to show you guys the absolute GOAT for audio options for motorcycle riders, because we're having to put this stuff inside of our helmet. We ain't got a lot of space inside of a helmet. This thing is only 59 bucks and it can wirelessly connect to either camera. It is the new DJI Mic Mini, and it is probably the most fantastic audio option I have ever seen for motorcycle riders. Let's do a side-by-side audio comparison and I'll show you it working with both cameras.
So going about 50 miles an hour, this is what my audio sounds like into the Action 5 Pro with the DJI Mic Mini. And this is what the audio sounds like from the Mic Mini going into the Ace Pro 2.
Now guys, later down the road, I'm gonna make a full video about the Mic Mini. Let me know if you want it in the comments down below and I'll get to working on it. But from my testing so far, I think this thing is super promising. I'll admit, it's not perfect yet. I don't have the perfect placement. I don't have the perfect settings yet, but I have a lot of faith that this thing is gonna be the future of motovlogging. Speaking of motovlogging, if you wanna get started in motovlogging or get better at motovlogging, sign up with my link down in the description down below. I'm working on a huge project that I've been working on for quite a while now, and if you sign up, you'll be one of the first people to know when it goes live. All in all, when it comes to the audio front, both cameras are pretty evenly matched, other than the fact that the DJI Action 5 Pro connects more easily to the DJI mic ecosystem, allowing you to connect two microphones to the Action 5 Pro. This means you could use one mic for yourself and then one mic for your motorcycle, and then you could mesh how you want your audio to sound. Other than that, they're pretty even. All right guys, the final comparison I want to show you guys is night footage. Now, with both of these action cameras, filming our rides at night has never been easier. How I'm going to do it is I'm going to be using the super night mode on the Action 5 Pro, and I'm going to be using the pure video mode on the Ace Pro 2. Both of these modes are the dedicated low light modes on both of the cameras, and I'm going to do the same thing as before. I'm going to show you both shots on the same time, and I'm not going to tell you which camera is which. You guys can let me know in the comments down below. Let's look at the nighttime footage. Alright guys, that's it for the nighttime footage. So the question is, could you tell which camera was which? I feel like nighttime footage might be a little easier to tell than the daytime footage, but regardless, camera A was the Action 5 Pro and camera B was the Ace Pro 2. Could you guys tell a difference? And there we have it guys, the comparison of what I consider the two best action cameras on the market right now, at least for motorcycle riders. Hopefully if you guys were on the fence about which camera was right for your situation, hopefully this video helps you out. I love making these videos because it allows me to do all the stress about figuring out what camera is right, and then you guys get to just watch the video and get back to doing what matters, which is writing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video along the way. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a link in the description for both cameras, and those are affiliate links, which means if you guys use those links to purchase those cameras, it super helps the channel out, and I appreciate any of you guys that do that. You guys drop a like for all of the camera testing that's been going on. I think we can lay it to rest at this point until the next round of cameras come out. Guys, I'm Chaseontwowheels. You guys go out there and ride safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Later. Which one did you guys do? Ace Pro 2, Action 5 Pro. Which one are we going with, peeps? To be honest, you're not going to lose going either of them. Oh, I better not drop them. Oh gosh. The amount of times I've dropped these cameras filming this video, you have no idea. No cracks anywhere. Super happy. I mean, other than my, anyway.